I think Zack Fox posted it because he was on like the first episode. So I started watching and I was like, yo, this is tough. Like, I feel like I aligned with a lot of the political stuff, but also like the pop culture stuff. Then they stopped making episodes. I was like, damn. But now they're back.
I'm interested in seeing how this is going to work. Like open debate.
Yeah, this format.
Like this format is like interesting.
Their whole thing with like 400 million, they're really just like trying to make their own infrastructure that's like separate from all this other bullshit. That really got me thinking. I was like, yo, like we could really do this for like anything.
So I have a question for y'all. What is it like to be perceived as a comedian in this time, in this moment?
So ass, bro. But it's like
the worst role to have.
But I don't feel unique in that sense. I feel like it's terrible being perceived as an artist, period, right now, because it's like the most cruel time to be an artist for anybody in the history of humankind. Like
I would agree
now.
with that.
For right now, it's the worst time to be. But I think just specifically for comedians, I don't know how Yedoye feels about it, but I think that there is responsibility that comes with joke telling, but it's not the thing that's paramount to the art form. The thing that's like most important is just making people laugh and making people have a good time. But right now it's like there's just so much that you can't weave around, that you can't ignore. But then it's also like the most cynical time, I think. So it's a lot of
cynical and you saying that from the comedy?
In just like a media literacy way of how things are digested online in conversations can be really like reactionary. So it's just a challenge, but I think that that's a good challenge. I think if you're gonna be a self-described funny person and you can't live up to that, then you should probably quit and work at Hertz Car Rental, because that's a really also very important job. Like,
people gotta rent cars, man.
Niggas need cars.
How about you?
I don't even know if I'm perceived as a comedian anymore, but I've been in the house, man. I don't like doing this shit. If I'm being honest, like I did my special in February. I did my little taping, and I was like, this feels like a good time to maybe never do this again. I'm like editing the shit myself. I'm learning new skills. I'm like, maybe I'll just be an editor. Maybe I'll just like make other people's shit look nice. But like,
what is it? I feel like I know, but like, what is it about that medium and the expectations that come with it?
Comedy is like the cursive of entertainment. Like, you really don't need that shit no more.
Make me laugh.
It's really so, like, I feel like we kind of don't. Like, stand-up is just it's a very specific form of art. And it's like, you really got to love that for just the sake of doing that. Especially right now, Yedoye can attest to this. It's like the comedy pipeline and the ecosystem that used to be around stand-up and entertainment in general. You know, you would do a late night set, and then from that late night set, you could possibly get a job writing for In Living Color, or, you know, one of the institutions of comedy that might not exist no more. And then from there, it's like, okay, now you're in this conversation to be in movies or develop TV shows. Dave Chappelle famously had upwards of 20 pilots that some of them were produced and that he got paid for, and most people are lucky to get one, you know, even developed or made now. So the ecosystem isn't the same, you know, and people are more, you have to be more self-reliant to do it. And I just think a lot of people and I don't fault them for this, they're just like, I don't want to do that. That's a lot of pressure on people to have zero infrastructure around you for the thing that you want to live and die by. That is hard.
Yeah, the infrastructure now is, I was a new face at Just for Laughs, which is the biggest English-speaking comedy festival in the world. I did that in 2017, and it's 2025. I'm still waiting on that career, baby. I'm looking around like, where the fuck is my money at? You know what I mean? I did it at the same time as Sam J and all these people that are doing like pretty well. And not that I have like an ego about it. Like, I should be famous now too. Like, I don't really give a shit, but it's like, it just feels like, you know, they kind of dangle this carrot in front of your face, and they don't even provide the like nutrients of a carrot once you get it. You know what I mean? Like, you grab it, you find out, oh, this is some Fisher Price shit the whole time. This wasn't even a real carrot I was chasing. What the fuck is this, man? It's like back in the day, it's like a late night set used to get you a sitcom. you would get famous off that sitcom, and that was a clear track to like you know you get to be Seinfeld or whatever, or like Drew Carey or somebody like that. Now it's like you do this big festival, you might get like a couple thousand Instagram followers, and then what do you do from there? And it's kind of like a double-edged sword where it feels like it's setting you up for that realization of like, oh, I just need to do shit myself. I just got to do shit myself. But they keep dangling that carrot of like, look at all the stuff that we could provide for you. You know what I mean? All the stuff that we could do for you. But they never deliver on it.
So I got an extension of that question because this is like really insightful in terms of like through an industrial lens, but I really wonder about it at like an interpersonal level. Like when you see friends or family, or you're just at an event or a party, and people are like, "You're the funny person, you're the funny guy," and they're coming with that expectation, but you might be in a very different mental.
That's a different question.
Okay, but that's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting to.
I love that. Yeah. Like, comedian with the little TM and the circle around it.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, God, so much. It's like, it's
but especially now.
But
though.
being a person that people are like, man, I'm going to go to this guy because I'm about to get like a little swift injection of some joy.
Yes.
And then I can get the fuck on.
Yeah.
That is dope. I feel like that's awesome. Yeah. That's cool. Like, I love that my friends feel like this dude about to show up and be stupid.
Can I respond to that real quick?
I feel so different.
Yeah, I feel
so different.
I love being stupid though.
Look, at what point is it a form of avoidance?
Never.
Really?
Never.
We finna have our first debate in public,
Never.
y'all.
Never.
I feel so differently from you.
That's fine.
I think that's fine.
I think that's perfect.
I think we just need to be in the same room all the time. You just pick what side of the room you want to stand on.
But
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Let's unpack it though. Like that's
I feel like I'm the dude that you come to expecting for jokes. I'm like, hey, you know it's flooding in Texas, right?
Yeah, you know that's what I'm saying.
They lost like a lot of girls. They can't find those girls, man. What's going on?
Look, let me put it this way. You ever have a fight or an argument?
But then it's like,
wait, hold on.
They can't find white girls, though. Like, it's like, and that in the context of America is funny, bro. Like, they lost white women, Z.
Look,
America lost white
They
women.
lose them all the time, bro. It's on the news all the time.
Not in droves.
Hear me out on this, right?
Yo.
They lost 3 Spice Girls worth of white women. All right, you go ahead.
They about to have Ted Cruz live on TV. Like, bring back our girls.
You ever have like a fight or an argument with your partner or somebody in your family, and then like 3 days later they try and paper over it with a joke, and you're like, yo, you just said I have bozo tendencies 3 days ago. You don't want to talk about that? Man, come on, man. We're done with that shit, man. Yo, those Kanye tweets are hilarious, man. We over it. It's like, is there ever, I love to laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is there ever a point where can we get to the source of the turmoil?
Yeah.
Like, can we address look, yo, y'all came out here. I hope we have an awesome time. But there's some people in this room, when they go home, they're running away from their thoughts at night.
100%.
For real. So I'm like, I love George Carlin because he was able to
distill.
Yes, he was able to do it all, you know? But I wonder, like, when I look at the comedy landscape right now, it's just kind of like, look at me. You know, it's just all like attention seeking and like little clips and crowd work and.
Well, I guess what we're all kind of 3 talking or speaking to is the cadence of escapism and stupidity and how you're sandwiching it before or behind what you're talking about in the context of what you're talking about, right? Like, I completely agree. There's a lot of people who I find very funny are just like kind of caked 9 layers deep into their own irony, and
it's bizarre.
They're very rarely being like grounded, even in real life.
Yeah.
But then there's other people where I'm like, hey man, you're making a lot of great points right now, but not nary a chuckle. I ain't heard nan giggle, I ain't heard nothing. You can hear a rat piss on cotton in your shit. Like, it ain't funny. You know, so it's like, what's the cadence? Like, what's the rhythm? Yes, but that's to my point. I think there's always space to be stupid. There's always space
Absolutely.
to make people laugh. There's always space. It's an open field. It's like the particles in front of us. It's just that's a never-ending resource. But how are you catalyzing it? How are you why is it funny right now? Like what are you saying?
I want to amend this because I feel like when I'm around people like y'all, I feel how you feel.
Yeah.
I feel like you. I feel like
Yes.
if I'm around people that understand like where I'm coming from, then I feel like open and free and like I can be funny at whatever level and in whatever context. But like, there's certain people where I'm like, you don't get this. You're not getting my energy right now. You know, where it feels like they expect some shit for free. You know, and they haven't done the work to meet me where I'm at.
So
And it feels like there's kind of like a dance monkey vibe to it that I don't really vibe with. You know, where I'm just like,
and to that point, I say that probably one of my flaws. I go ahead and say it.
I'm a dance.
I will put that red hat on and hit the cymbals. I will Michigan J Frog if you want to Michigan. If you want to keep it at that level with me, bro, we can. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Like we can. He's not lying. We can do that because it's like that's. But I would be a fool, and we've talked about this before. I would be a fool to not realize and not recognize that most people right now, regardless of where they at, how they feel about stuff, most people are just at that level. Like they want to be approached and spoken to at that level of
I feel that way too.
On the ground level, is this dude silly like me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to calibrate that out in the real world. So a lot of times even I can get stuck in just they just want to.
Well, I think there's you're saying a lot in that because I think a large part of that is the fact that you're surrounded by funny people, like professional, non-professional, however you want to classify it, like all the time. You know, I think for me it's like it's always a question of balance, and I think the thing that makes me, or rather that I feel alienated around, is there's just not balance. It's like let's just completely run away from this uncomfortable discussion, or we just have to joke. Don't take it there at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we not do it all? Isn't that a part of life? Joy and pain? It's like that's life.
But what Jaden Smith said?
Can we talk about the economic state of the world?
Oh no! What did he say?
We talk about the political and economic state of the world.
He was on Big Boy in the morning. He was like, dude, can we not talk about like the socioeconomic state of the world right now?
You calling me Jaden Smith right now?
Nah, I'm just saying, like, Buddy was spitting a little bit. He had something to say.
He was on to something.
He was on to something.
But it's like it's tough when it's just all one thing or all another. And a lot of people who are always joking all the time, they're in fucking pain, man.
Yeah. It's hard when those
they're
people
some of the most fucked up in the head. That's why they're psychologically like caked in layers of irony just to like operate with people.
Yeah, just to make it.
It's hard when those people come around. It's like, you too woke for me, man. You too woke for me.
That's what Danny Brown said to me. Yeah.
Wow, these niggas sound like Batman.
You too woke for me, bro.
Like shit.
Smoking on ops. Nigga smoking on ops.
Boy, oh my God.
Why y'all niggas sound like Batman?
Shit always funny, bro. Like we in here, we like just teed off this beautiful conversation, and they upstairs listening to like
Sandstorm.
They listening to Zionist house music up there, right?
They playing that shout out to his family music.
Shouts out to his whole family.
This is the house music you listen to when you live next to an open air prison. This is like, I mean, come on now.
I have a dream that one day niggas will be able to commit war crimes just like everybody else. I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will be able to occupy somebody's home.
Y'all hear it now, don't you? Y'all hear it. Y'all hear it. It's not just me.
They ain't tell you the mountaintop was Sinai.
Woo! My boy got geography jokes, bro. Hey, that's why you need your Yedoyes, bro. 'Cause this nigga looked at the map. Like,
One time.
No, I just feel like I hate to sound, because it is like cliche, but it's like, it's so weird to be like feeling maxed out on the bread and circuses, but also authoritarianism, like it's getting crazier, but we're just like, I don't know. I feel like we don't have to compartmentalize, you know, it's like just a part of living life is reckoning with everything. Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, we've talked about it for years, like it's just hard to find also other creative people that look at it the same way. Because I feel like a lot of artists are one-track minded. They're like, oh, you know, I am a comedian, so this is all that I'm supposed to do. Or I'm a musician, and this is all that I'm supposed to do. And
yeah. I mean, I think part of what keeps me sane in it is that, like, there never has been and there never will be a moment where everybody wake up at the same time.
Of course.
We know that.
Of course.
That shit would be funny as fuck.
That would be funny, but it's just not real. For most people, adapting to shit is like the bare minimum. You know what I mean? That's where they max out, is what I'm trying to say. Like, most people max out at, like, I gotta just adapt to this shit. American music, media, culture was fucking built out of a reaction of enslaved people. You know what I mean? Like, the whole comedy itself comes out of minstrelsy. You know what I'm saying? Which all of that was an adaptation, making fun of white people, making fun of us. So, like,
what's crazy is stand-up came from minstrelsy being too expensive.
You got to do a great value version of this shit. Yeah.
We can't afford all this makeup.
Tar,
You know what I mean? Like, we gotta
I'm gonna just go out there and rock it myself.
Yeah. Hopefully they get the vibe just from what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like,
but let's put it though, like, on the artist though, like in this conversation, like, what are the tensions or like the things you bump up against consistently when you do try to have conversations with like other artists and entertainers about like the state of things and what intervention, if any, they are gonna make in it, or are they gonna do anything? Or
I feel like the first thing you bump up against is, and this is just like that top layer, is this even my problem? And then if I can make you feel like it's your problem, then the next obstacle is, can I even get to a point of agreeing with you that there can be something done about this, whatever we're talking about? And that's where most folks I speak to, that's where I'm losing you. On just the aspect of, can something be done?
Can you just drop the nugget around the wildfires in LA and people asking you, were you affected by the fires?
Yeah. That's where
Were you affected?
Were you affected is crazy. Were you affected might be the most evil shit you could tell
Do we
someone.
know why that, like, that's crazy?
Like that, bro, like, September 11, 2001. I was
just trying to keep it to the LA wildfires. He's like,
but I'm saying,
let's go back in time.
Let's go back in time, because y'all wasn't out, and some of y'all maybe were, but I'm saying, like, imagine on the thin island.
I think it's multi-generational in here.
I'm thinking, but just like,
all y'all niggas look the same age to me. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
September 12th, your auntie covered in soot, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a nigga like, oh, so were you affected by? Yeah, nigga, like, yeah, it's literally on me.
But we were talking about
We had on hazmat suits, Z, in LA.
Okay.
We walking around with full-blown hazmat suits.
But even if you weren't, like, I feel like we were talking about that in the context of like how atomized and like hyper individualistically people think in this country.
Yeah.
To even ask that, were you affected?
I'm talking to
imply that unless your house was literally on fire,
you weren't. No. And I'm talking to people,
but that's how people
and they Microsoft Teams notification sound going off.
As they're asking you that,
they like, Are we getting to the money or am I faking empathy right now? Like, are we?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because I got Slack notifications and I gotta get to it.
Right.
Damn this shit is evil.
And you talk about adapting. I think that's the survival piece of it too. You know, just that the hamster wheel and trying you're trying to distract yourself. One, because you're on a hamster wheel, and then there's all this fucked up shit going on that you feel like you have no agency in even changing. So it's like the minimum you can do is just, I gotta just keep myself away from those thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like on steroids. It's like the TikTok shit is like Lord of the Rings. Every day when you open up Instagram or TikTok,
Literally.
Gandalf.
And some people just
thought we
they
were
put
doing
that shit right on, and they just like, I got all the power. I'm the man.
No,
you know?
I'm waking up every day.
no Eve, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm waking up. I'm slapping it on like a fentanyl patch for sure. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bro, you know the shit I run into is like, because of this AI shit, I keep running into like, even if I can like switch up people's minds on this narrative or whatever, like does this shit even matter?
Right.
Like does the hamster wheel even
God.
stop if we're not on it? You know what I mean? Because like now they got computers doing the shit we were doing 6 months, a year, 10 years ago, like regurgitating the 2016 like immediately after Trump logic, you know, of like let's just elect a better person and all this shit. And I just wonder like, damn, even if we got every single person on the planet like to wake up, does it even matter?
Right. And I've been thinking about that on another tip of like, there are whole industries right now just in talking about everything, just in critiquing things. I feel like we got to put a new fucking lens on when we have the algorithm shooting someone talking about whatever the quote unquote discourse is. I feel like we got to have that fucking lens of like, okay, what do you propose and what are you doing to make it real?
Yeah.
That has to be like a baseline, I feel like. Because there's people making 6 figures, 7 figures, and all they're doing is just talking about the problems. That's how I think of when you say, does it even matter? Yeah. You can have all the content creators talking about giving the sharpest critiques of capitalism and the state and, you know, the nonprofit industrial complex or whatever. How are people moving when TikTok is closed? What are people doing about it? What are we doing?
I'm only half joking when I say like everybody in this room, let's start a fucking group chat after this show is over. Literally like
No, for real. Like
I want to stay in touch with
beyond
y'all.
beyond a group chat, like let's keep showing up in the same shared space.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about what we want to do.
Well, that's what the group chat is. You see, he don't know what group chats are. That's why we got the group chat.
He still. He's still You gotta.
Right, I get it. You gotta get the group chat to get people in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Now I feel this shit like heavier than ever because it's like I love that more people have been reading Octavia Butler. I love that she is like trending right now and people are buying her books. She was trying to tell you something. She's trying to tell you something. You know, Murray Bookchin calls it the lifeboat ethic. That's the subtext of all this shit. Getting people the fuck out of the country, off the continent. All of this stuff, they want to starve us out. With ecological collapse, the way that shit is going, extreme climate events, they're hunkering down, they're getting, they're building their castles and their fortresses, and they intend on starving everybody else or mowing them down, straight up.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, do we want to do anything? Can we do anything? I think we can. You know,
I do. Part of me does want to see what they do when we all die. You know what I mean?
Y'all gonna be bored. Damn. Y'all all the fun people.
Elon Musk is like, I don't have anybody to control anymore.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Like, so you guys want to go get lunch?
I don't know.
Where?
Yeah.
Nigga, where?
Oh, that's a good point. There's no one using X anymore.
Can someone
the
call
niggas
Waymo?
was doing the
Can we
best
get a
cooking
Waymo?
and they gone. Can't go dancing. us know where the gay people live. Dang.
Why isn't there any new slang?
Okay.
There's no slang anymore.
Yeah,
Let's try to make up our own slang.
That'll be the lamest shit ever. Oh my God.
We haven't gotten a new word in quite a while.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's the frame of mind I'm trying to get in, like, as an artist, as a creative. I'm like, how can we? I'm literally at a point where it is really hard for me to take in art at a certain level. I mean, being behind the curtain as a creative and in entertainment and production for a long time, there's like that layer of it. But then there's the layer of it of like, why would I give a fuck about what you're saying in this context? Like, knowing especially the access that some people have, the resources that some people have, and all this shit is going on, and people are just sitting up here just yapping, and it really does feel like...
Do people in the room, do y'all feel that way? Do y'all echo that sentiment of like when you listen to certain artists and there's not any sort of attention taken on what's going on?
See, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yes and no?
It's affirming for me to hear y'all say that, honestly, because it's hard to tell sometimes, because you look at the numbers and the stats, and it's like, well, we're getting the bottom line. People are streaming, people are watching, they're consuming just more than ever before. They're consuming. It's great. But you got to wonder, what are people thinking and feeling on the other side? Sure. If they're just consuming as a form of just blind escapism, you know, I still believe in the power of art. I do, but I feel like in these times, like, you gotta come with more than just saying something. A lot of dope shit has already been said. Yeah. A lot of dope art has already been made. What else are you bringing to the table? Yeah. That's how I feel at this point. Mm-hmm. You know?
You know, with stand-up, I had to, like, come to a point where, because it's so about external validation, where I really had to come to terms with, like, why I do it and what I do it for. I really had to be like, okay, no, like, fuck everybody in the room. Like, this is kind of about me, you know? And I feel like all art...
In the sense that you're expressing
in the sense that I'm expressing something, and I don't really give a fuck if people like it like that. Like, hopefully they do, but I'm like, I just want to say what I want to say. And because of the medium of stand-up, I have to say it a certain way. But that's how I like to process shit. And that's like...
Right.
Since I was, like, I did stand-up the first time when I was, like, 12. So, like, I love processing information in that way. But I also, like, people don't understand it sometimes, and I really don't give a fuck. And I feel like that's how people make the best art, and unfortunately the best art for consumption, but, like, I don't think it's supposed to be for that, you know? Like, we really have forgotten about the experience in the room, you know? Like, I watch crowd work clips sometimes, and I'm like, that must have been really fun for them in the room. And that's what it's supposed to be, like, I don't know. I think about a situation like
That's
this.
an interesting crowd work take, because everybody kind of takes the piss out of the crowd work thing now, but you're kind of saying the opposite.
I see a lot of potential in it, because I see it in a situation like this where, like, over time we build a rapport, and, like, I really feel like I know the people in the room.
And we're gonna talk with all of y'all. Like,
yeah.
We got an hour for, you know, people to let us know what they think, and
and I feel like something like that is the potential I see in crowd work. But people like, names y'all are not going to know, but, like, Steve Hofstetter started this fucking trend where you just post a stupid ass clip.
Somebody knew. Yeah.
Somebody knew? You heard that? For anybody who doesn't know, if you've seen a clip titled "Comedian Destroys Heckler," he's the guy who did that. That's the dude who did that.
He did. Oh, he's like.
He's the guy. Everybody thinks this is like a trend that started. Like, it's a guy. Wow. It's a lot of phenomenon people don't realize is a guy. The entire concept of race, a guy.
Right.
Like, we act like these are trends that were bubbling under the seat. Like, it's a guy. And he started this bullshit trend where you can just, like, commodify a moment.
Clickbait.
You know?
Clickbait stuff.
In the same way that, like, a produced song is a commodified moment when music is supposed to be about the people in the room experiencing some shit together.
Right.
You know, and I feel like comedy can be the same thing, but, you know, it really was, like, stand-up comedy as it exists was born out of capitalism. It was born out of shit being too expensive. We got to figure out how to do this shit with just a microphone and one guy. you know, and we got to figure out how to pay as few people as possible. And so there is like a seed of extraction built into comedy as an art form. And I think it doesn't have to be that way, but the way it is now, it just is like that. And people, and because you notice every trend on social media, the first people to catch on to the wave are stand-up comedians. The first people to get dragged along the Vine were comedians. The first people to get dragged onto TikTok were comedians. The AI like Timberland shit, this is the first time a different art form has been dragged under the fucking bus first. Yeah. You know, they're not making AI comedians yet because they don't think they can do it. They can, but they don't think they can.
I feel like to kind of like bridge what both of y'all saying, because I feel in the middle, right? Like, on the one hand, I do feel like, especially as Black people, we come from a very, very long history that cannot be ignored of niggas speaking on shit and standing on shit in their art and out of their art. So you can't ever... Tupac, Nina Simone, I mean, the list goes on and on and on, right? But like, at the same time, to bridge what Z is talking about with it, and I think where a lot of artists might feel that they're in a place of contradiction too, is like, if you speaking on it and you're not standing on any part of it, that's flawed too to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? So I would rather, I do want to hear it in the music, and I want to hear people talk about these things, but if you standing on it, if you building cooperative spaces around you and music, and you trying to get niggas from out of digital serfdom, and you trying to pay everybody and give everybody agency and make sure women and gay folks in your team is taken care of and give your money back to the... I don't give a fuck if the music sound like Miles. Matter of fact, I would prefer that. I would prefer if Miles was doing what Tupac was trying to do in theory. Go crazy.
I'm gonna get all my niggas start a cooperative.
I don't care what. Yes. Bro, fart on the mic. Fart on the mic. I don't care. Because we've had enough people doing this to where it's like, it can be completely, like, now I can go to Chat GPT and tell him, like, how do I come up with a revolutionary banger right now? Anybody in this room would go ass. It would be ass, but like, it'll be ass right now, but it might not be ass in 5 years.
Oh yeah, once that nostalgia wave hits, there will be a nostalgia wave.
Oh no, I'm 30. Z,
we got to get vaporwave for nostalgia for AI. We're getting vaporwave for AI.
Bro, I'm 34. God. I'm getting fooled by Google VO3. I saw a crowd work video. My wife will attest to this because she got fooled by it too. Of an old lady, you know the man on the street, where they go up and they ask people questions. And it was an old lady, and they was like, what was the prompt? It was like, how much money does a man need to make, or like, does a man need to buy stuff for a woman? And she was like, I don't care, just find a woman, find out a price tag, and shut the fuck up and pay it. And it looks so fucking real, Z, that if you just took like a nanosecond too long to swipe, or let it, like, you wouldn't, your brain is not catching it now. And that's right now, bro. Yeah. This is AI infancy. Like, next year is gonna be a completely different conversation. So I just say that to say, like, all of this stuff can be feigned. Lip service can be feigned.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Your philosophy can be feigned. What you're saying now, to what you're speaking on, it's all about this. Yes. And then what comes after, and what you can physically, in a room full of people, show them and say, I'm standing on this, this is what I got.
Yes.
In my music, I be saying poo poo pee pee, but that doesn't matter anymore.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think on the tip of, like, going back to what I was saying about, like, not really caring about what a lot of artists are saying through their art, I feel like right now we don't have to, we can do whatever we want to do, but for those of us who are like seeing the way that shit is going and the way that shit is, I feel like we would benefit from being more critical and mindful about who we're listening to. Yeah. And like being intentional about that. Why am I listening to this at 3 a.m, this person like through some celebrity drama try and break down, you know, some irrelevant shit to me? Like, I think people have to start thinking about, you know, people are thinking about their survival, but thinking about how to like break free of this at some level, you know?
I think to add on to that.
And can I just make a real quick point too? Like, none of what I was saying too about like even asking, oh, like when you're talking with artists, like, what are you hearing? It's not on like some like moralistic, like language policing type. You didn't say anything about X, Y, Z. It's not on that tip. It's literally just like a bottom-up curiosity of like, truly, how are people even like perceiving and thinking about this moment right now? You know what I mean? And like wanting there to be, I want there to be space and like institutions that give artists like a venue to make, I mean, that's what we're trying to do here, but give them a venue to sort of do what they do, but also like let people know really where they're at on some of these things. But then when this event is done and we're doing the business and the money is there, there's intentionality with the people who are doing the business. It's not us pocketing the money in our individual pockets and just trying to stack money like that. We're thinking, how can we like create some sort of parallel ecosystem where we're not fucking exploited? Labor, land, all of it. That's where I'm at, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, what I was going to add to that is you say we should be more mindful about what we listen to. I think we should also reorient that toward thinking production first.
Yeah, we're making the same point.
Yeah, because I think we gotta get out of the mindset entirely of just like, are you listening to the wrong stuff? You listening to all this shoot, kill stuff, like whatever. Who gives a fuck? I think the part of the realization I was getting at earlier is like is realizing the purpose of art to me is just to like express myself and also just like get my imagination like function.
Yes.
Because your imagination is a muscle that you gotta engage with. Like I realized at some point, like I was not dreaming. You know what I mean? Like I literally was not having dreams at some point because I was on my phone too much, or I was just like listening and consuming more than I was producing. But like I think we gotta disengage ourselves from like entertainment as an industry and just reorient it as a form of expression. The fact that like creative is a job title, or like creator is a job title, as opposed to just like what people fucking do, is crazy. Yes. You know, and like that's your capacity both creatively, artistically, but also politically. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's so much about just like saying the right shit on the record. I think it's it's about working that muscle and working your ability to. And I think that's the purpose that comedy serves for me, is that this is how I engage with these ideas politically, and that's how I convey it to. It's really more about like me internalizing shit and like expressing myself through that than it is about conveying it to other people. Because I do think that happens through just like doing shit. Absolutely. More than it happens through me telling you the right joke, you know?
Yeah. Part of that reminded me of how you said like the funniest people that you've ever known have not been so-called comedians.
I feel that way about a lot of art forms. I think the best rapper in the world probably work at a car wash right now. Like the nigga that's gonna bar up everybody. Yes. I mean, Ka is a perfect example. He was one of my favorite fucking firefighter. You know what I mean? Like that's somebody that we were blessed that his creativity seeped through and actually touched us. But that was somebody who was just dedicated to saving lives, and that was just his day to day. You know, and he was one of the most skilled. So. I feel that way about funny people too. I feel like a lot of times, like the moment you kind of stamp the little C with the circle on it, I'm a comedian. Like that's the moment your shit just start.
Yep.
That's when it's all downhill from here, baby. Because you got your whole life to come up with your masterpiece, and you got 6 months maybe to do it again.
How are you telling jokes without a profit incentive?
And yeah, if you're just
that's what it's about.
If you're just the dude on the block, there's never that pressure. Yeah. So that's the funniest people for sure.
And actually, like the people who seem to lean into, like get in a flow state, like they are so grounded in the experience of creating, happen to be the ones who, a lot of the time, like benefit. They can benefit in a lot of ways, like materially.
Yeah, and I mean, I think so much of the industry around comedy and the other muscles that you have to pay attention to can cause the main that main funny thing, that spark that made you funny to people in middle school gets kind of killed because the people who rise to the top in this industry aren't always the funniest people. They're the people who they turn in their homework the fastest. They're nerds. So and I say that as a person who is a nerd, and but just because I'm a nerd doesn't mean I'm the funniest.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's extremely funny nerds. There's nerds who are just like, oh God, who is this guy? But he turned in the outline. He wrote the script the fastest, and he kissed ass the best. You know, the niggas who work at HBO who got their development exec job because they run salads the fastest,
right?
And they don't know nothing about comedy. They looking at who's my friend. And if you know how to be the best friend to them type of people, you gonna get your shit made. You know what I'm saying? That's just one way to illustrate.
Full circle, though.
One way to illustrate that, just like funny and being the funniest has nothing to do with the industry. So
Marketing.
If you're even to Yedoye's point, like if your shit ain't working and it ain't going in that, you should have a sense of pride about that.
Yes,
that is a pride point. Something about me is getting lodged into the gears of this machine, and it's like no matter how much WD-40 I'm putting on it, I can't get these people to understand me because they know what you are. They look at me. They know what I am. They know I'm the nigga that's not fucking with the program at the global at the capital level.
Corporate,
they know they've seen what I've said. They know this nigga's.
But at the same time, they want to like use your essence.
They want to, It's vampirism.
Can I tell them about the?
Yeah, for sure.
Just to paint a picture of this man's character, he turned down a 7-figure Popeyes deal. Clap it up for Zack. Clap it up.
Yo.
Over $1 million, he said.
Yo.
You not gonna hit me with the Mary J. Blige.
Yo.
Crispy chicken. No, he said no.
It's about to put you in that helmet. Put you in that Jerry Rice helmet.
Yeah, so we're thinking.
I'm like strung up.
We're thinking like a redux.
They got like the skin hooks, the David Blaine skin hooks. Got me laid out like a rotisserie.
Yo. Put you in a frozen ball of chicken grease.
Yo, but it comes full circle though on the tip of like thinking critically and interrogating like the people who are in front of you and who are chit-chatting, like what is pushing them, what is behind them, what mechanisms are behind them, what structures are behind them. Because that informs what they're saying, it informs why they're in front of you, it informs the endorsement deals and the advertisements that are plastered all over the special or whatever it might be, or the podcast.
And I do have a certain degree of not empathy all the time, but like understanding, because it's like, bro, everybody in this room, including me, including you, we 2 yeses away from oh fuck, I sold my soul 2 years ago actually. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, it ain't like, oh, right now I'm on my way to the meeting to do the. You know what I mean? It could have been 3 yeses that you was people pleasing in the meetings, and I don't want to ruffle feathers. I want to be a team player. I want to do this. I want to do that, and then you went quid pro quo, 2021 or some shit. You know what I mean?
I think that just underscores the importance of having core values and intentionality. You know, but it is hard when you're just trying to survive, or you just got in some shit just to survive. You're just paying your bills, or maybe you didn't even intend that, but now you can pay your bills. Yeah, I'm just gonna ride the gravy train.
Now you got that red hat on. You banging them cymbals. Now you the chicken man.
Now you're the chicken man. I think where I get frustrated just with the situation, it's not even like, again, it's not a moralistic, like, oh, this person is good or bad, or this person should be this way. It's not that, but like, where I get frustrated is like, I do take that sort of structural lens to it. And so when I see thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people just sort of like caught up in the bread and circuses, but they're suffering simultaneously, and you just want to be like, why are you even listening to this dude? How are they, like, what information are they even giving you? Practical information are they even giving you to help you change your situation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should have known you'd know that bread, man.
You said what?
The bread and circuses should have known eating all that goddamn bread. Can't give me some steak or something? Vegetables? Just bread and circuses? Should have known, man.
Yeah.
That's all they feeding you at the circus?
That's all they got at the circus?
Not even a sandwich?
No, not even cotton candy or some dumb shit. Like, give me a corn dog. It's a circus.
I feel like
I've taken this bit too far. Sometimes, this is why I say it's for me. It's not, everybody can't be there with you all the time. You know?
I feel like it's on steroids now with TikTok and like Instagram, because it's like people just open it up and then it's just like autopilot. It's so like subconscious. I know like this, everybody already knows this, but like when it dovetails with that piece of like, oh, I'm just looking at like, maybe I'll laugh, or maybe I'll go, oh, that's interesting, or oh, that drama spilled the tea, queen. It's like, but then like, what changes? What changes?
Bro,
Like,
motherfuckers are entering prompts into AI, telling them to make a prompt to enter into AI. We're
damn.
lost. We're like,
Hey, you just fucked me up with that. I'm not gonna lie.
he said, we're lost.
I don't think we understand how deep this shit is.
Oh, yeah.
I remember a couple years ago, but like before we went on hiatus last, we were talking about AI, and I was like,
This is 2 years ago for
this
context.
is 2 years
yeah.
ago. And I remember asking the question, like, are people just going to be content just for content to be out and not even be engaged in the process at all? Not even know that there was a human behind it? And it feels like the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
It feels like the answer is really yes.
But
The people, the actual creators are like commodities in a way that I think about the Steve Lacy moment where someone fucking threw a camera at him on stage, and then they went, oh my God, he smashed the camera on the stage. He got angry at that. Oh my God, cancel him maybe. No, we shouldn't cancel him? Oh, okay, never mind then. But that's what's going on. You know what I mean?
Should have known, man. Should have known. That's what niggas stands for, is niggas is gonna get angry. All right. I love a backronym. That's my...
that was crazy.
Hey, but it's niggas, but niggas is the first.
Niggas,
What? Because now it's an infinite loop of niggas, you know what I mean? It's like an infinity mirror of niggas.
As above, so below.
Niggas is gonna get angry. Niggas is gonna get angry.
It's
Niggas is
a
gonna get
fractal.
angry. Niggas is gonna get angry. See, my mind is working on a different level. Y'all don't really understand.
He drank the black yerba mate can.
You were gonna say something.
Nah, I mean, I feel like I was just gonna say, all of this right now is so clarifying, because like.
What part? Just the moment in.
Just the
time
moment,
that we're in.
I think, is really clarifying, man. And I feel like it's like, that's why I'm grateful that y'all invited me to this. I'm grateful to be in fellowship with these people, because we're at a place where it's splitting. All the roads are splitting off. I think all the niggas who was gonna be using AI the way that they're using AI and being excited about that was always gonna be
Absolutely.
type of niggas.
Absolutely.
And the people that's in this room who are like, what are we gonna do instead of that, instead of being serfs, instead of being whatever that, what is the other option?
Yes.
It was always gonna be that, and it's always been that since the dawn of time. There's been people who are like, we trying to exploit and we trying to make empire over here. And there's always been people who are like, absolutely not. Yeah. No. For 8,000, 10,000 years, it's always been people going, come over here, and people going, no. Yeah. And I think that, especially in the context of America, it's like people are like, oh, this shit is disintegrating, or oh, this is, they're destroying the country, or this happening. I'm like, this been the play.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This been the design the whole time.
By design.
If you black and you read, you can see that this has been the play the whole time. If Yedoye, me and you, for 500 years, made free trillions exploiting everybody in this fucking room, and then at a certain point they all said, no, you gotta stop. We about to liberate ourselves. And then the three of us went to war over that decision to allow them their freedom. And they got it. Our children's children would be fighting to get back to the way that we had it, which was free, uninterrupted wealth and free labor. You know what I'm saying? Like that's been the play of America since since the jump. It's a war with proprietary people that they made property, farm tools, and then free trillions.
They be outside Barclays Center. Like,
Everything
we were
else,
CEOs.
right? Everything else. Hey, that's a deep joke.
We are a fallen race, nigga.
That's a deep joke.
They still say nigga.
White people being black Israelites for like white people being hoteps on exploitation.
I mean, it's low-key happening right now, but you know.
But am I making sense that like this always been the play, like to get back to just subjugating, just pushing people way back into the dirt, and now it's just coming to light, and it's like you can't hide it anymore. They don't have to hide it anymore.
What's crazy is they trying to exploit us without us. You understand what I'm saying? They trying to push us out of the world they're trying to exploit us in.
Yes.
Like they trying to put us.
That's the logic of capital.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to put us all the way to the edge, the periphery of shit that we gotta be there for. You know? And it's like at this point we just gotta make the decision to break away from it.
Yes.
I think useful framework. Zapatista's Fourth World War shit is they are at war with every single person that stands in the way of the expansion of capital. And at some point you got to make that decision. Are you that person or are you not? You know?
Yes.
Or they will make that decision for you.
And it's not, again, you know? It's not a moralistic thing. That's why I hate, like, oh my God. Some of the shit that gets under my nerves is like activist or organizer as identity. And they're standing here talking to all y'all about this shit, and they're trying to make it seem like if you don't do this, you're shit. You're not this kind of person. If you do this, you're shit. You're this kind of person. I think a part of the edge of those in power, outside of a lot of them being like clinical psychopaths, of course, but they understand power. When I listen to Alex Karp and the heads of Palantir talk, it makes sense for a person who wants to dominate other people. People try and act like they're idiots or whatever. They're not idiots. They just have a vision of a world that they want, and they're taking steps to execute it with the capital that's been handed down to them and the power that's been handed down to them. So the question becomes, like you said, what do we want to do?
It's like, do we want to stay in the house and get beat on, or do we want to walk out the door that they're trying to push us out of anyway?
We're standing in the middle of a road, an 18-wheeler truck with the lights is
laughing
coming.
at that domestic violence joke back there.
I was thinking child abuse, but you know,
Yeah.
I was talking about stuff I live.
Got you.
You know,
You can speak it from experience.
I was using the analogy of, you know, deer in the headlights. Like we're in the middle of the road. Some people are breakdancing in the middle of the road.
For sure. Hey,
and the truck just
thinking of the motherfuckers Krumping in front of the cops.
I'm gonna say something. We was way too mean to that dude, bro. That dude who crumped in front of the police got more done in 2020 than a lot of people. A lot of people. Because what was you doing? You posted a black square? You think you did more than the nigga crumping? That nigga served it to him.
showed up and they looked him in the eye.
He looked him dead in the eyeball. It wasn't a tear. He wasn't scared. He crumped on him. He served him. And a lot of people sat on their phone and made fun of that man, but you didn't get up there on the front lines and crump with him. And this is my thing. The Maoris down in New Zealand, when they do their haka, that's they crumping. That's they crumping. And they get shit done. And it might look whatever it look to you, but it is what it is. It's indigenous people going wild on your bitch ass, serving it up to you. And you gotta change a bill because it's loud in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, if every nigga swag surf at the same time, we could
It
switch
would do
some shit
something
up.
for morale at the very least.
Yeah.
And that's worth it to me. That's worth it to me. Because the morale is something that like we can't lose as
Right.
people. Like
Yeah.
the morale is super important. Like your imagination of what the world can be don't even gotta be as involved in you know what I'm saying? And crazy. It can start just nigga, the Juggalos got a vision of what the world is. Their vision of it is insane clown posse. That's where it starts and ends. They like, we paint our faces, we drink Fago, and that's
ICP Ethnostate.
and they gonna take over Michigan. When America collapse, Michigan will become insane clown posse land.
By the
That's
way,
my-
this is directly related to Octavia Butler's writings in Parable of the Sower.
Okay.
I'm saying that unironically. That's what she's talking about. Not the insane clown
not the
posse,
Juggalos.
but-
Yeah.
But Ursula Le Guin, similar themes. It's like the trends are going in a particular way. Shit is accelerating fast out here, and I still think compared to a lot of other places in the world, we still got some room to organize ourselves in a different way. And I don't mean that in the vague sense. I mean like labor, land, housing, the really tough stuff. Not the reactive activism shit. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you changing your life in a way that's related to my life and vice versa. Realizing that we can help ourselves as individuals by tapping in and saying, yo, like, what are you trying to do? What do you want out of life? How are you trying to get by? Okay, I want the same thing. Okay, can we work out a situation where maybe we don't have bosses and we don't have landlords and maybe there's other people out here who want the same thing? And then, that takes money, that takes capital, but there's money people out here. There's class traders out here. I know this for a fact, It's just, you have to, I call it imagination and the ask. You can never get help for something that you don't ask for. And if you don't imagine, if you're not, you talk about imagination and creativity, if you're not exercising that muscle of thinking about like, what would the ideal situation for me be? And trying to get together with other people to like formulate a collective sense of that. And then you're not putting that out into the world, it's never gonna happen.
And I want to speak to that real quick, because like I feel like people here who have been watching y'all via Jaded and listening to Yedoye, listening to Z, it's like a lot of stuff behind the scenes that y'all don't see and y'all don't realize. I've been friends with Z since 2018, and to that imagination tip and the imagination and the ask, it's honestly the biggest inspiration about my friend here. He will email any nigga on planet Earth. If he finds that address, bro, he is going to email the shit out of that person. And you don't expect nothing. It's not like you being like harassment, but I just feel like even just that step for a lot of people seems so distant and far away. Even for me as a person, y'all like, oh, he's on ABC, or he's doing this, he's doing that. I still sit in my office. My wife will tell you, and my wife will be like, why don't you just reach out to them? I'll be like, oh, no, they would hate that. They would that would make everything fall apart in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's a normal thing to like deal with that sort of social fear of like, I can't just talk to that person. That'd be great. But Z cuts straight through that, and I feel like everybody, if there was one thing you take from Z, bro, email these niggas, dog. Draw it up, write it out, write the doc, write the plan, go to them with an expectation to say, if you got this and you're willing to give it, this is what we're trying to do with it. And you never know, like people. Yeah, I mean, it's living proof right here. People, yeah. I'll let you explain that further, but yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, I think both of y'all have seen. I mean, you've known me long enough to see how I operate, and you see the fruits that it can yield. Also, we're going live, by the way, with a website called spark.repair. It's for an organization called Spark. if there's anything that like tickles your brain in this conversation, you're like, I want to know. We're gonna talk about that. Whatever questions you have, but if you want to like read, if you're a reading motherfucker, and you want like nuts and bolts, like tell me concretely like what you're talking about, that's a great place to go. But yeah, me and other folks in the production company that is putting this on, we're now stewards to hundreds of acres of land in New England. And it started just by articulating in detail what we fucking want and putting on the table what we're able to bring in service to other people, not just ourselves. But that's the other thing too that I hate. I hate like this, I call it the Mother Teresa effect. I'm an activist and these are the masses and I'm separate from them. And I'm gonna, I gotta interpret, what it is that they want and then like separate from them, I'm gonna help them like figure out what they really want. And I'm gonna help them. You gotta eat too. You are a part of the masses too. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just checking to see if you got mass. I'm just checking. It's there. It's there.
No, but I think that's another really important part. A lot of times, like these types of conversations, when we're talking about how fucked up the world is and all this shit that's going on, you have like a stratum, an apparatus of people that are like really attracted to that conversation because they get to go up and act like they're morally superior to everybody in the room. That shit has to stop too. I feel like TikTok is a fucking massive hub for that shit right now. Like sometimes I'll hear, someone next to me on TikTok and it's just like this random person rambling. Like real community organizers, we don't do that. It's like, yo, like how are you gonna pay your rent? How are you gonna pay your bills? Like we're in the same boat. And that was another piece of like the work. It was like us articulating like what do I need and what do I want? What labor can I bring to the table with other people? What help can we get? And then through our labor, we can make bread together so we can sustain whatever it is that we got. But then also maybe we get enough bread that we can start giving it to other groups of people that want to operate in the same way. And like, again, going full circle back to the, art and artists and industry conversation, it's just so hard for me to like be operating in this way for this many years. And then I'm not gonna name names, but Zach's like, name them.
I love it. Let's get messy. Please, let's get messy.
For me, nigga. You want for me.
I love the mess.
Nah, but you all have also seen enough. You know enough about my life and my background. Like, you've watched me share nuggets like this with certain artists and entertainers, and now they're the people that I'm talking about. They've made careers out of being activists and out of being whatever. It's like when does it all converge? When does it all like this isn't a special thing anymore for you to care about this? No, we're all doing this because we have to and we don't want to be exploited. You're not special for wanting that or having a little bit more information. Share the information and then like get in with your immediate community. Not the imagined one, not the abstract one. Get in with the people that are around you, Yeah. I think that merits a pump.
That nigga said it. That nigga, I was like, well, I have nothing.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
To that point, and to like sort of link it back to what we were talking about, I do feel like the artistic piece of it comes after that fact.
Yes.
I think once like we reinforce capitalism every time we put shit out. Just in the verbiage and in the like get money rhetoric that we use, just like instinctively. You know what I mean? And it's like once the culture actually changes substantially, the art will follow. I don't think it necessarily. I think like live as though you are already free if you feel that way, and then like actually like start out using that sort of rhetoric. But like there does come a point where like everybody around you is on this same wave, and you're like, I can't be the only one talking about getting money, man. That feels kind of weird. Like at a certain point it just doesn't work. And we kind of got to figure out when, how and when we get to the point where that shit just doesn't fly anymore. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be the most profound shit, but just like reinforcing the shit we came from in this new, better world. You know, it just doesn't feel right. You know.
And I do think it's all interconnected. Like how shit is produced and delivered to you is directly related to the shit that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I think like the very least we can do is like what we're trying to do right now. Just like crack open a little bit more room. Because we know on the back end, like when we're in post-production editing this, it's a cooperative process. And the people who are involved in that also have, you know, hundreds of acres of land, and we're trying to build infrastructure on that. And we're trying to create our own collective safety net, our own commons. Because you know what happens if we can get there? That means the money that we're making, we just have more resources to give to other people. We can maintain like our way of life and and whatever we're doing to survive, but we can also help other groups of people.
But I'm getting a check from Facebook.
Exactly.
Man, we gotta get
I'm hanging with Mark Zuckerberg.
Z, man, we gotta have you. You gotta get Druski, man. You gotta get the guy. You gotta get Druski, dude.
Yeah, I heard a hard no.
Hard no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But I mean, that's that's what people is like. That's the guy. You know, I like for better. Or
He
for
might be
worse,
open.
He might be open. That's all I'm saying. He might be open. I do think.
Email him. He said email him.
Just email him. That's all I'm saying. Just email
Watch
him.
him come on our show like, sign this paper right here.
I do think that once blonde hair dye reaches an Atlanta nigga's brain, it does. It might take a bit of time for it to come back around, but he's still there. The real him is in there.
Yeah. He still got those roots.
The root is in there.
You gotta wait for his.
Every nigga got a physical hairline and a spiritual hairline, and his is in there, and it's fresh. It's Steve Harvey. I believe in the potential of people. That's just me.
I do too.
That's just me.
I feel like his
do
real
too.
hairline is Beijing.
I think there's some people, of course, like there's like, okay, we can't with this person in this way, right? But in this specific time,
Can you elaborate on that?
just like I when people are like, you know, in certain contexts, you know, unsafe for what you're building or unsafe for your community or have done like harm to people in your community, yeah, that's one thing. But on the other level of like, okay, this person just be saying crazy shit or like they're just kind of a wildcat or
Gotcha.
a wild card. I'm like, especially if you black, I'm not giving up on you right now until I'm proven like, okay, this is a harmful. I can't, you know what I mean? This is a hyena. Like we can't have you in the house. But like if you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he's just kind of irritating or annoying. Like I don't think I have that bandwidth right now to give up on people off the bat. Off just like, I don't know you and this is just an internet basis. And this I've just seen your work and whatever.
You describe it as grace.
Just grace, bro. Like I just feel like we gotta have grace for people because so many people might be open.
Because we didn't come into this world understanding these things that we're saying right now.
Bro, I didn't.
We didn't.
No, like
Yeah.
at best.
You mean y'all?
at best, like 2017, like post Obama, like I was just still under a very liberal illusion. You know
Same,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like I had moments of falling out of that, but then me falling out of that, I just was replicating like reactionary,
Yes,
just
yeah.
face value, black power values,
Yes.
not interrogating misogyny, not interrogating
Labor,
patriarchy, not
like
interrogating
exploitative labor
labor. You know what I'm saying? And I did a loop of that, you know, through my teenage years until, you know what I'm saying? Like meeting you and talking with y'all was a big part of that growth. So like, it's people out there that's willing to grow. And I think it's a lot of folks is just, they could be one email or one conversation
Absolutely,
over a beer away from like, yeah, I'm on the lane with y'all too. What y'all need? Like, you know?
Can I ask a question? What time is it?
Hey, they up there
It
banging that
feels like-
apartheid house still. They're still going crazy.
They sound like they trying to get in.
Hey, this is
It's time to open up the conversation. All right, y'all. Now it's your turn. Who got some shit to say?
Who got thoughts?
Who got some thoughts to share?
Twin right here.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
What's up, G?
I had a similar sort of thought as you, Zach, with just like starting out being sort of married to this like regular politics that we have, and then breaking out of that, but still not breaking the loop when it came to like interrogating the more important things, like you're talking about misogyny, patriarchy, all this stuff, labor relations. My question is like, so you guys talked with David Wengro,
Yes.
one of your episodes. I read his book. It's amazing.
Yes.
Love it. I'm reading Bullshit Jobs now, which is like
Yes.
very
Awesome.
relevant
David
to
Graeber.
my current situation.
It's a good
Yeah.
book.
Great book. Y'all should
great
pick
book.
that up.
Yeah.
Dawn of Everything is the first one he's referring to.
Yeah, I've been trying, like, a lot of the books you guys recommended on the podcast, like, I've been trying to get into a lot of the different authors and thinkers. I was wondering, like, what your thoughts are on, like, their, like, Graeber and Wengro's sort of different worlds that they pose just by going back through the anthropology and archaeology of the past. I'm, like, really interested in that because when I was reading the book, it was, like, basically sci-fi fantasy because it's
Like
just...
Octavia Butler. Yeah.
Yeah.
What she's getting at.
Yeah, I plan to read that too. I was just wondering what your thoughts are on the book or in those ideas in general.
Could I give some context for the question too, for those who maybe aren't aware? And this is just like me explaining it in my kind of layman's terms or layperson's terms, but it's like these authors that what's your name? Alex is referencing. They're an anthropologist and an archaeologist, respectively. And a big thing that runs through their work is kind of zeroing in on civilizations and societies at different points in human history that sort of deviated in how they were organizing themselves compared to like the predominant systems. And so it's like a lot of indigenous history. I mean, it's like all over the globe. The Dawn of Everything is really a text that gets into that. Did y'all have thoughts on?
I do have. I have one main thought on it because I read The Dawn of Everything, and I think everybody in this room should definitely read that for specifically this time right now and just be a human. It's a really great one. But I think the biggest takeaway I have from that is, and Z chime in and help me to glue this together. But a big thing that we are taught here in America, the typical anthropological through line that we're taught is, humans were primitive, so we had to walk around and get berries and fish and get what we could and get our provisions, and that primitiveness allowed us to be in cooperation with each other, be more egalitarian.
Yeah.
But as we moved away from that, as if there was one straight line that people moved in the first place, which it wasn't.
Sure isn't.
But as we moved away from that, we started to farm and we started to, do agriculture, and we started to do things that are more indicative of a city or urban planning or civilization, that equality had to sort of take a back seat to the further development of civilization. So those two things aren't congruent. You know what I'm saying? But they illustrate, there's example after example after example after example of massive civilizations in ancient Mexico, in Mesopotamia that are like
in St. Louis.
these, I mean, literally huge cities that don't, and they can't find any evidence of an emperor. They can't find any evidence of a central planning organization. They can't find any examples of a Hammurabi or a central code or, oh, this was the guy. You know what I mean? And it raises all of these questions about, okay, well, we have it in our heads that, you know, everybody says the common thing. Well, you know, communism, socialism, it can work on a small scale. It can work in these bands of people. But once you start adding more folks to the conversation, well, it just falls apart. You can't do it. Too many people. But that's antithetical to history. It's antithetical to human nature. For 10,000 years, people have been trying and experimenting every single sort of way to exist amongst each other, with authoritarianism, without authoritarianism, in primitive ways, in ways that would seem advanced. So that's the biggest takeaway that it took for me, is that all of human history, and I like the way you put it, all of human history is sci-fi fantasy. Like everybody
all across the American continent too.
Yes.
Like from South America.
We are the
everywhere.
aliens.
Yeah.
Damn.
The big piece to me is like, this is at least in my view, one of the first times in human history that we have not had the space to experiment politically. And that we haven't really had the imagination to try. And that even comes down to the things that we thought were experiments, like the creating a nation state with a red flag on it. The shit we thought was this whole new model, it was the same shit. And it was
worse in some ways. Yeah.
Worse in some ways, and also after the first one happens, that shit becomes a predictable pattern that they can track down and, you know, keep tabs on for the rest of the time.
Actually transcendent piece. You're saying if there is a counter, or are you saying something different?
No, I'm saying what,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying what you're saying.
Got you.
That if there is an actual counter to the space that we're in, it's not going to come out of the same logic that we've been entrenched in for our entire lives.
We got to do some different shit.
Yeah,
different configurations.
We got to do different
some
shit.
older shit.
You know,
in some cases. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some ancient shit sometimes.
Yeah, and the piece I think is important is that we have this idea that society has only gotten better and humans have only gotten smarter throughout history.
Right.
We got the same brains that we had when we first came out. They haven't dropped any new updates. They haven't changed any shit. We're the same people with the same creative capacity that they had, and they had the same shit that we have. You know what I mean? And they were back there experimenting with all these different social forms. And now we feel like, oh, we're locked into the best one.
Do you know what I would say on that? I would just remind everyone that all this shit, these systems, the technology, it's socially informed. It starts with us. We decide we're gonna do something and why. We are deciding this. You know? I think we should go to another person. Does anyone else have? Right here.
Right here. To your right.
Thank you.
Sweeps.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Mina, and I wanted to ask about, like, I guess I feel like on the internet the main way that people interact with serious issues now is through irony and through jokes and memes, and I think we're all guilty of, like, sometimes simplifying these issues by laughing at them as a way to make ourselves feel better because we're all in this and we're all, like, going through the motions, but it's also become incredibly harmful, especially when most people are getting introduced to and constantly hearing these really terrible things as being presented as jokes. And obviously it's not unmoralistic. Like, we're all guilty. We're laughing tonight about it.
Right.
So I was just wondering what your thoughts are on that, especially being a comedian and trying to integrate both your politics and comedy.
I was writing about this shit earlier today. I hate the fucking. I'm a black man. As a black man, I thought this was funny. That's my least favorite trend. That I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much, and I feel like that defines the internet right now. is just like, as this oppressed identity, I actually think it's okay to talk shit about us. I think that's fine, and I feel like on some level comedians are responsible for that. I think we started this this idea that like only white women with blue hair care about social issues or whatever. They're the only ones that give a shit, and that we just ran with that. Like white people, the only ones. Like I remember there, I was at a show one time. They used to always do this shit. Like if white people got tense about a joke, they would see me in the room and be like, "Well, the black dude's laughing. The black dude's laughing. So why you not laughing?" And I just started being like, "No, I'm not." Nigga, you see me. I know the lights are on. I'm not. And I feel like on some level, you just gotta like. Sometimes you just gotta say this shit. You know, like. You know, I'm not going on every Instagram video and being like, that shit's not funny. But, like, I do think, like, my responsibility as a comic is to, like, take responsibility with what I'm saying and then also be funnier than them. Because I feel like a lot of people come out and they have the same shit you were saying. Like, you're making a lot of good points right now. But you're not putting it together. You're not connecting all the dots. And I feel like that was a bit from, like, when I started stand up for real in 2012 up to like really like COVID, it was a lot of people that were really talking a lot of shit about how other people weren't funny and how other people weren't doing this or doing that, and they weren't funny either. And it left so much space for them to just like run rampant with this shit. It left space for there to be this like I forget what it's called, like the dime square, like
the Red Scare type.
Well, the people that were like trying to be leftist but also appealing to people on the right by
Brown?
like. I mean, well,
The crypto
they had
fascists. What was it?
No, I forget. It was like the Chapo Trap House type logic where they were just like the scumbag left, the dirtbag left shit. Yeah,
dirtbag left.
Yes, where they were like, we can be naughty too. That shit, like, right. I hate that shit so much, and I feel like. What we really got to do is, like, we can't even engage with that. We just got to do our own shit and have it be, like, really make people feel like, oh, they really having fun over there. Fuck. Like, I kind of want to be over there. Yeah. And it's the same shit with outside of comedy, with politically, just really we got to make people feel like, oh, they're kind of doing shit better than us. You know?
You have thoughts on that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's all of what you're saying too is so filtered through like these apps, which are like, you know, all like we're watching like them like integrate like Palantir into the next version of TikTok, and you know what I mean. As soon as I like start to do like a monologue about like anti-capitalism or you know Zionism, my phone might just blow up like a like Looney Tunes Acme. I'm not joking. Like this is actually, we're actually watching this. So I, you know, and I hate to oversimplify and go down that route, but it's like I'm at the point now. I'm like, can I even actually realistically be on these apps in the next year?
I've been off of them for years now.
Z been off of them. I've you know barely been engaging with Twitter for the past, I would say like a year or two or so.
Your brain chemistry changes
radically, and I'm like,
I can't stress that enough.
Even just the little favor done to yourself of not terrifying yourself with how cold people are, with how brutal people can be in comment sections, with how apathetic they can be, with how shitty their jokes might be. It's going on. Everybody who was gonna do that is doing it while we speak. You know what I mean? And to what Yedoye is saying, it's like now I'm much more so like comforted in the idea that there is something I can do in my imagination elsewhere. I don't want to contend. Yeah, it's like I don't want to have to contend with TikTok irony. Like you know, it's kind of like give me something else, or just give me silence and boredom.
I have a quick final thing to say on it, which is that I just find a lot of that shit boring. It's not even like stimulating to my brain anymore. I mean, I think maybe I was terminally online for such a long time that it was just like rinse and repeat of exactly what you're talking about. The memes and the irony poison stuff. It gets old. Like it's not even like stimulating to my brain anymore. I'm kind of like, what are you doing? Like no matter what like the person is saying, I'm like, okay, so what are you doing about that? That's like my immediately where my brain goes, you know, when people try to be funny sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? Does anyone else have a
I heard somebody say
I feel like we need some moderation intervention.
Oh, yeah.
Need some progressive stack in here.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say real quick, we talk about hoarding, wealth. Yeah, I'm about to give it to you, I promise. Hey, what?
This is Ashton Womack.
That's what I meant by progressive stack.
I just
Y'all
wanna-
mentioned funny people in here.
You niggas talk about all these elites, all these bourgeoisie, hoarding wealth. Why y'all hoard the chairs, my nigga? All right.
Hey, that's a great point.
That's fair.
Is the Booker? I brought this up. We didn't want to this setup. It was the only thing we either had this or we were on the fucking big stage really looking down. So we just said, let's just do in the round.
Yeah.
Nah, but I don't fuck with that either. Low-key, so.
This nigga work at the Daily Show, man. You gotta come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Emmy award-winning
Ashton Womack.
with his Herman Miller chair.
Is he running away?
I'll let you.
Good to see you, G.
How's your last flight with Trevor? Okay, all right.
So that wasn't Josh Auckland.
I'm
Interesting. Hi. So my question was around, I think a lot of people are here for music. We're here to hopefully dance. And I was just wondering about like music that has really inspired you and kind of like changed how you think about the world. I was just watching the Questlove documentary on Sly Stone and the Sly and the Family Stone, and just thinking about Black Genius, you know, the guy from the Beach Boys dying, whatever. But yeah, I'm just wondering who are.
Right.
Damn.
Nah, fair enough. What's that
I'm
nigga
black
name?
and I'm proud.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I was just wondering about how you guys
Ryan
have been
Wilson.
influenced by music in your lives and in, I don't know, how you approach, I don't know, even your art, your other art that you do.
Yeah. That's a beautiful question. Thank you. I think for me, the music that has felt the most in tune right now and the music that's keeping me the most grounded and inspired right now, I mean, one of the reasons a lot of people are even here tonight is house music, and it is techno, it is black electronic music. And I feel like, and it's not ever anything to take away from hip hop, because to me, hip hop is electronic music. But it's poetry in motion, it's the spoken word, and black electronic music comes straight from that tradition of just straight synthesis and four on the floor and, you know, playing with just purely sound. And I don't know, just getting more into the lore of what so many legendary, you know, Detroit and Chicago techno musicians were trying to envision when they made their music. It's exactly what we're all talking about here. You know, it's people in intentionally designed, underdeveloped places meant to keep black people just, I mean, beneath the floor when it comes to what we can own, the agency that we have, what we can even eat, and using machines that now people glorify. They fetishize the machine, but this is really like what people just had at their disposal, whether it was a 303 or 909, it don't matter. Sometimes the machines was broken, but they were using these machines to envision and paint an imagined future of, you know, cooperative prosperity amongst black people, of freedom, of regardless of, you know, who you fucking, what you look like, all of that shit. It was just like, it's the truest form of black sci-fi to me. And they were living it, they were breathing it, they were making it. And then you're taking it to the next level where you're not just making this stuff so I can like give you the vinyl record or give you the CD or you just go stream it on Spotify. I'm bringing it to you so I can be in fellowship. It's as if I, you know, sat in my house and wrote a sci-fi novel about black freedom. You know what I'm saying? And then I sat y'all all down here. I said, okay, it's story time. You know what I'm saying? Here's my story. That's what it was born out of, and I think that's just like that's really heavy. That's really
And that's what we're trying
there's
to
so
carry
much
with
breadth
this.
to that. So
Yeah.
that's for me. I don't know about the boys, but
Yeah.
for sure.
100%.
I've been rocking DJ Bone heavy.
Yeah.
super heavy, DJ Bone?
I mean, for me, it's been just like I don't have a particular artist I can point to, but just like the idea of live instrumental music. I know that's counter to what's happening tonight, but like there's a place for both. Just in the sense of like sort of getting away from music as like a product. Because I played bass when I was a kid, and I stopped for a really long time, and then I realized like, damn, this is, even if I'm not good at this thing, this is such a good avenue into people. You know, just having a way to like communicate in a way that's not necessarily verbal, and just having a way to just like kind of trance out with a bunch of people. And so I just like I like retaught myself bass, and I took exactly one lesson and just couldn't afford it, and so I just went home and like with that knowledge and was like, let me figure out how to expand this, and just started like going to jams all the time, even not being like a really good bassist, but just being like, let me put myself in a position where I don't know shit, you know, and like really put myself in. And so like music right now to me is like, this is my connection to my ability to learn shit, my ability to like to express myself non-verbally, and my ability to like sort of expand just like, I don't know, my knowledge base, my social base, my cultural base, or just like and to also experience something that's not gonna be there forever, you know, just experience something that I can't just like turn on at the house and just kind of zone out. Like I really gotta sit and engage with people and like be in the room and figure out how to lock in with somebody, you know, and like, because I always feel like I feel like I've always had like a little bit of social difficulty, and I kind of just needed another avenue, and so I feel like that's what music is for me, you know.
My answer is kind of short. I'm kind of, and this is the honest answer. I'm struggling to be inspired in a lot of ways, and I'm writing music, you know, like every week, but I think it's hard because I don't feel like I have a broader cultural context in which that art can exist in a way that I would like. And so I think with this, for me personally, it's me trying to, with, you know, my collaborators, trying to open up space to have that context and have it be face to face with an immediate community that hopefully a lot of y'all live in the city, and we can keep showing up and seeing each other and having fun and sharing art. And so it's, as you probably already know, there's not a lot of that going on right now. Not as much as there used to be. So does anyone else have?
We ain't been to this side of the room at all.
Yeah, we gotta hit this side over
Right
here.
Hi, my name is Lilo. Hi. I'm from Brooklyn, but I lived in Atlanta, I lived in Miami, and have been able to see Black spaces in all those cities. But my question is more about the advent and then immediate like overconsumption of what we now are calling Black excellence. And I hate to be that person, but Atlanta got it the worst.
I was just talking about this 3 hours ago, so this is crazy.
Great. Atlanta, I think in about early 2000s felt very hopeful in this way of people were going there, and there was opportunity. There was ability to have businesses and make something for yourself. And not to say that Black people haven't been there the whole time, but like there was an energy around Atlanta. And I think going to high school there and then coming back after college, it felt abusive. Like it felt like just like power being, the same people have been in power that are in power, Deloitte, Coca-Cola, et cetera, but the Black people there also drank, unfortunately, the Kool-Aid of this, I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna take care of myself, I'm not gonna look out for anyone else. Where I think in the other cities that I've lived, Miami is just, it's not a real place. That's the difference. It's just different.
Great value, LA.
It's vacation. Everybody's on drugs. Nobody's actually doing anything. But in New York, there is a community that I can find that is at least trying to think, like, just turn the nozzle away from normal just a little bit. And I felt that it was so hard to find that in Atlanta. But the pieces that make Black community and Black culture beautiful are also there. but they're
Yes.
being exploited for the same reasons that white people exploit them. So my question is just more about what do we do? How do we get past first of all, the fear of being broke, the fear of not having money, but then exploiting whoever and whatever to get where you want to go, but it doesn't necessarily include anybody else.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you for that. Damn. Can I real quick before, because I would like these fellas to answer this question first, but I real quick want to share an excerpt from Don Cox's book it's called Just Another Nigga. I think everybody in here needs to read this book.
Please.
Because it's really,
please.
Don Cox was the field marshal for the Black Panther Party.
He was on the Central Committee.
He was a Central Committee.
He was their shooter. Their head shooter.
He was literally on the ground. Yeah. He doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so he's, he all these stories that he has from hanging out with Kwame Ture, formerly known as Stokely Carmichael. I mean, it's super deep, but it'll really get deep into a lot of the mistakes that were made
related to your question
and replicating those. But there's a really funny part of this book because he only talks about Atlanta like one time in the book. I think it's like that's really bad, right? But he's talking about traveling with Stokely. So I'll just read this part. Traveling in the South with Stokely was an eye-opener. Black people loved Stokely. Wherever we went, they came from all around to see and cheer him. Young, old, crippled, blind, everybody. That was one of the biggest differences I saw between the North and the South. In the North, it was the youth. But in the South, it was everybody who was mobilized. So setting up, everybody was fucking with Buddy. From Washington to Mobile, there was a layover in Atlanta. And that was also a revelation for me. It was the first time I ever saw black people living like white folks. Of course, there were the poor parts of town, as in any other city, but that was the first time I saw whole sections of town occupied by blacks as bougie as anything I had ever seen. I was very surprised. The arrival at the airport in Mobile, he just completely... He's like, well, okay, well, that was a place. Mobile, Alabama, we moved on to that. And it's like, that's how, just to illustrate to y'all, the impression. And this is the 60s.
This is the 60s, this is decades ago. Yeah. I have a direct response to the question. I don't know if you...
No, I was just also going to mention Modibo Kadali, who's based out of Atlanta. I think is a name.
Another person with 3. Yeah. I think we've kind of been hitting on the answer to that question throughout this, which is like, to be cliche, it starts with us, people who have these perspectives and these understandings and these values. Again, it's not a moralistic thing. It just is what it is, but we know we want something different. And I think it's a matter of people, especially, this is why I kind of, get worked up when I think about a lot of artists who are like popping right now, especially artists who have access and who do know, believe it or not, there are some artists out here who they've hit the books and they're very critical thinkers and they're very aware, but they're not really doing anything. And I think it's on those of us who are kind of, I think all three of us, we are in this weird in-between place where we've had certain advantages and access in terms of relationships and experiences, but we also are very particular about our values and our intentions and what we want. So we just put our heads together and go, okay, how can we open up space and room for some of these values to shine through, but also like have fun and like help people have fun and create, because and generate resources, make it sustainable materially for everybody.
Yeah.
But it has to be all of those things, because you might have some people who are initially attracted, like, oh, there's hella people, showing up to this party or this group's events, and oh, maybe I can like get a job here or whatever. But hopefully it's steeped in these values and these intentions and these visions for another way of doing things, and there's like a lot of details to go into in terms of like the nuts and bolts and practices of like exploring that.
But to your point, and to what you're asking, Lilo, it's like the burden of proof is on the Imagineer.
Yes.
And that's a daunting thing. But
it's annoying.
But if somebody done, if they like, man, I went to Morehouse, I voted blue, okay. my daddy a Mason, and
You're painting a real specific picture here. Yeah,
and I'm on a boat right now. Nigga, hurry up! What you talking to me about? And it's not, it's not to insult or look down at nobody, but it's like if I'm over here talking that, they like, bro, what are you doing?
My dad is
like you
amazing.
said,
I got nicked, bro.
What you got going on?
It's like you said, though, make a decision. You know, make a decision.
And then that's on another layer on top of that of just intracommunal anti-blackness in Atlanta, period. Without the class element, the first thing that you learn growing up in Atlanta, niggas don't fuck with niggas. So even just me fucking with you about some shit and talking to you and reaching out to you about some shit is off-putting at the first outset. Because why you even fucking with it? That's another part of it too. So so what you're saying, I'm just echoing the sentiment that it's even more burden on, yes, you gotta imagine, you gotta reach out always and extend those opportunities to build coalitions with people, but like all of that shit,
that's not enough.
I can understand why the dude smoking hookah.
Yes. Yes, actually.
You're like, bro, you wasting my hookah time. Like, what are we doing?
What are you bringing to the table?
What are you bringing to my because I got this. This is physical. I can see
good.
it.
This is good enough for me.
I just bought somebody a BBL. 10 minutes before this.
I don't even know.
I don't know
this.
this.
Across the bar.
Any other?
It's a BBL from the table over there, from the gentleman.
One more? Okay, we got time for one more.
This man, a man right here has been raising his hand. For a
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
My fault, y'all. My fault.
I like that.
But not
shit.
really. Sorry, I'm nervous as fuck. So this is a creative-based question. You brought up Dave Chappelle getting 20-some pilots before he finally got his break. Dave Chappelle, top 2 next to Eddie Murphy for me. From your three's perspectives, as far as I'm a would-be journalist, musically or arts-based wise, what would you say your processes are like as far as, because anyone can find a direction, but finding your lane is a whole nother direction. So what would you say your guys' differences before being in your own separate direction versus finally setting yourself to be in that lane that got you guys to where you want to be?
Oh, man, that is such a good question.
Damn. Wow.
I have thoughts, but if
I also have thoughts.
I want to hear y'all first.
I feel like for me, there's like a certain magnetism to like what the industry wants you to be and who other people decide you are. And I had to make a very conscious decision at some point that like, I think this happens in academia, it happens in entertainment, where you do one thing and people decide, oh, I like that thing. Do a lot more of that thing and do nothing else and never think about why people are having this response to that thing you're doing. I was in a position when I was in my pre-2017 liberal fantasies where and granted, I think it was a fun idea, but I think I would do it very differently now. I used to have a podcast called Dark Tank where I would make white people pitch solutions to racism to a panel of black people.
I'm going to go on record and say you need to bring that back, bro. I know you are a very intelligent individual. We evolve and we do things. My vote, bring it back. Bring it back.
I agree. It's in the works. But I think I think the responses I was getting at the time to harp on Dave Chappelle was very much giving me like, am I being laughed at or laughed with? And at the time, this was sort of where I was at the edge of breakthrough, where I was like, this show requires me to do a little bit of research and gain a little bit of knowledge, and I feel like I can either stay in this context that I'm in and be really successful in this context where white people keep telling me we need more of this. But I also felt like there is a membrane of knowledge that once I break through this, there's no going back. And I had to make a conscious decision of like, all right, let me just let me just walk through that shit. Let me just be like No Face in the water. Y'all haven't seen Spirited Away, okay? But like, I really had to make that decision to be like, am I gonna be the dude who takes the step past where I'm at, the step that I know needs to be taken, and am I gonna let that industry magnetism grab me and just keep me on these rails that are laid out for me? Because every single person in this room, there's a version of a thing that you can do that is appealing to people, and if you let them tell you that that's appealing, then you'll be stuck doing that shit for the rest of your fucking life. And you might be very successful. You might be very good at it. Yeah, you might make a lot of money, but you're gonna want to kill yourself. Until the day you actually die, you know? And so I had to make the decision to be like, okay, now I have to tell myself my shit is good. Now I have to make the decision every day. Like, I'm editing a special right now, and it's a fucking fight to even keep editing it. Because every day I have to look at these jokes and be like, damn, I don't know if anybody wants to see this. I'm like, nigga, I wanted to see it.
Right.
I don't give a fuck, you know? So that's, yeah.
Thank you for that. I want to answer it from another angle, because I look at you mentioned being into journalism. And so what I got from that question, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a part of that, what I felt in it was finding my way in this moment and in this climate. And what I would really emphasize is read the industrial room. Read the room. Look at what's happening right now and what isn't happening. And don't be afraid to have a moonshot vision in your mind about how you could do what you really want to do in a way that reaches people, in a way that you can be materially sustained through, and that ultimately, you know, makes you feel self-fulfilled. But the industrial piece is really important, because implicit in that is that it's not just about you. It's not just about any of us as individuals. We're nested inside of like social systems and structures. That's how capitalism works. That's how social organization in general works. So when I say read the industrial room, I'm saying this shit is fucked. You're gonna be exploited if you try to go through legacy institutions. You're gonna get in there and you might feel validated initially. Maybe you get a check mark on social media or whatever, but that gets very old, especially when you see all the ways that you're being held back in that job context. You're not actually getting to do what you dreamed of doing, because these structures have their own rules, their own aims, their own logic. So try and find other like-minded people and build on a different logic. That's what I think the key is.
Wow.
And that's my answer.
Yeah.
Where we at? Is it time for Zach to spin some music?
Music?
Put your sneakers on.
We about to play the full Justin Bieber album in here, y'all.
Are you ready?
Is it out yet?
What?
Is it out? Fuck! When is it gonna drop?
Yo, why don't say that so fast? Y'all been checking this whole
Thank
time?
y'all so much again.
Thank
This
you.
was a beautiful
Really
conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yo.
Y'all are amazing.
I wanted to impart some words too.
Oh, yes.
Baby. I'll say this to everybody, to your creative endeavors. You confused about what to do right now, I'm gonna say, I love punk, and I love people who are punk. I love things that are punk. And if you want to be punk, you gotta realize that what you're doing, it'll have to end, but it'll never die. But if it's not punk, it'll die, but it'll never fucking end. So make your decisions very wisely with what y'all set out to do with this shit. It's very important. Make wise choices, but center your child inside you, because that's who you are right now. You taking care of yourself as a kid. And yeah, thank y'all for coming again. Huh?
Can I add to that?
Absolutely, yeah.
And clap for that. Yeah. I would also say to that, think about how your path and the things that you want relate to other people and what other people want. And think about how you can work with other people to create a context in which you can do things together without being exploited. Think about that too, I think.
Yeah.